Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Residents in the state's north have expressed their anger after learning they could soon live alongside Tasmania's next major prison. The project is promising to deliver jobs and investment, but some locals who share a fence line with felons aren't convinced.
There's a lot Fred Baker likes about his home.
The peace and quiet and no neighbours and things like that, yeah.
But all that's about to change. This is the view he could soon have from his porch. A massive maximum security prison housing Tasmania's dangerous criminals.
This is positive news for the area. This is a massive injection to not only the local economy in terms of the businesses, the trades, the industry in the area.
The $270 million jail would be built in 2 stages, with the first to be finished after 5 years and the second after 10. It's expected 250 people will work at the facility on Birrelly Road.
There will always be, I guess, not in my backyard, but this is a great announcement for Northern Tassie. But it's got to go through the planning scheme, so everyone will get their chance to object.
It's got the backing of some like Rob Mitchelson. He was actually born on the site.
I think it would probably lift the value of some of the property here in Westbury.
Gallery owner John Temple is worried how the new prison could reframe Westbury to tourists.
Don't just drop a prison on a lot of people that perhaps don't want it. See what people do want.
Labor isn't worried about the location.
But that's only the case if this prison comes with the budget that's required to actually run an efficient and well-run prison system, which is not what we're seeing in the south.
Unions say it won't solve current overcrowding.
We have a prison service that's in crisis in 2019 and the government's talking about solutions in 2024 or 2029.
The government is promising to start community consultation. Fred Baker isn't sure it's a fight he can win.
Not real happy about it, but what can one person do on their own, I suppose?
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A man co-accused of murdering a Risdon Vale tattoo artist has today recounted his movements leading up to the fatal evening. Bradley Scott Purkis telling the court he and Dwayne Doc Davies had an altercation, but denies killing and shooting the victim.
The trial into the death of Dwayne Doc Davies. Today hearing from Bradley Scott Purkis, his best friend and alleged killer. He's co-accused of the alleged murder at his Elderslie property in 2017, alongside Mr Davies' wife, Margaret Ann Otto. They've both already pleaded not guilty. Mr Purkis told the court his former partner wasn't happy with Mr Davies' frequent visits where they would smoke marijuana together. He then confronted the victim and claimed Doc took a swing at him. Mr Purkis said he then struck Mr Davies in the face before leaving the property. He told the court he then went to his father's house and denied ever visiting the victim's Risdon Vale property the night he was killed. The following day he said he went shooting with some family members at Levendale, the same area Mr Davies' body was discovered days after. He said he spoke to Margaret Otto several times that day as she was concerned over her husband's whereabouts. Prosecution has previously argued the two accused were former lovers. But when questioned by the defence today, Mr Purkis says they were just friends and denied ever being in a relationship with Ms Otto. He did claim the co-accused and Mr Davies both sent him sexually explicit images of Ms Otto, but said a brief affair never took place. The trial continues tomorrow. Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
Hobart City Council's elected members could soon face random drug and alcohol testing. The motion from 2 councillors aims to bring politicians in line with other staff, but the plan has already been met with a mixed response.
Each day, Hobart City Council staff go to work knowing they could face a random drug and alcohol test. Right now, councillors are exempt, but that could soon change.
12 people, 12 elected members that aren't subject to it. So it's about bringing the elected members into line with the rest of the council workforce.
Under a new proposal, elected members who fail the test would be barred from meetings for the day, with the results published online. But fellow councillor Holly Ewan says it's an invasion of privacy.
Fair enough wanting to make sure people are fit and able to do their jobs well, but I think that should be judged based on KPIs and not based on some sort of arbitrary chemical test.
Bringing about a mixed response from the state's MPs.
Other workplaces that do have compulsory drug and alcohol testing do treat it as a health issue and not as a punitive one.
Personally, I don't have any objection should that ever be something that Parliament passes, but it's certainly not on the government's agenda at this stage.
The motion will be debated next month. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania police had to use road spikes and bring in a helicopter as they tried to stop a driver around Hobart last night. Police allege the car evaded authorities through the city, then towards the Channel. It was stopped when road spikes were rolled out near Margate, deflating all 4 tyres. A 21-year-old man from Kingston has been charged with evading police and dangerous driving, while a 19-year-old woman from West Moona has been charged with drug offences. Emergency crews have battled harsh conditions on the overland track to rescue a man suffering heart problems. The rescue helicopter was called to the Waterfall Valley hut around 8 o'clock last night, but bad weather forced it to turn around. Specialist police and wilderness paramedics were called in on foot, reaching the New Norfolk man around 2:30 this morning. The 50-year-old was treated at the scene before being flown to the Royal Hobart Hospital. The next step of the Granville Harbour Wind Farm project is about to begin, with the first delivery of the turbine components leaving Burnie on Wednesday morning. 4 67-metre trucks will travel to the site near Zeehan between Monday and Saturday for the next 6 months. Developers have asked the community for patience as the turbines make the slow 193-kilometre journey. The iconic Great Lake Hotel starts a new life tomorrow when a $20 million investment under a different owner begins. The handover ends 15 years of service from Kaylee Hattinger and her husband Peter, who often became more than just publicans in times of need.
Kaylee Hattinger is used to waking up with this view. She says it's hard to say goodbye.
We thought we were buying the pub. We didn't. We bought a lifestyle.
That was never more true than last summer when the hotel housed and fed those battling bushfires. In a place exposed to nature's extremes, the hotel often became a hub for help.
There's been accidents or things that happen on the lake. We've been able to take a boat out to search and rescue. We sit with car accident people or help the police direct traffic around them.
Incoming owner James Johns wants to embrace that tight-knit connection with the community, but he wants to take the precinct in a new direction by investing up to $20 million into upgrading the hotel, building new cabin accommodation and renovating the service station gradually over the next 10 years.
It's going to be very much respectful of the history of the area and also the environment.
It's hard to imagine how many beers Kaylee's poured over the past 15 years, so what a privilege it is to have the very last one as we welcome in a new chapter for the Great Lake Hotel.
After such long service, Kaylee says the time is right, but she'll never forget the friendships and loyalty of those she served behind the bar.
Because we have to support Tasmania and keep jobs in Tasmania, otherwise we'll all leave. So thank you for supporting Tasmania.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's smoking rates are at an all-time low according to new Cancer Council data. The survey found around 5% of young people are current smokers and about 18% of adults. Among older students, the rate has halved since 2011. The Cancer Council has welcomed the drop but says there's more to be done to prevent tobacco use among young people. It may be the first day of school holidays, but for some students that doesn't mean the learning is over. From music to science, young people from far and wide spent the day brushing up on their skills at specialty workshops.
Swapping the stage for the classroom, Tasmanian musician Daryl Beaton has worked with the likes of Kanye West and Jessica Mauboy, but this school holidays he's sharing his expertise with local students.
Love coming home because there's a huge amount of talent down here, so I just love coming back and sharing what I've learnt in my journey in music.
Students from across the state attending the 3-day workshop, learning the ins and outs of the music business. The end product, a professionally recorded piece.
So far it's been great. We've had a bit of insight into the process of songwriting and it just fuels the interest that I have for it.
I wanted to learn how to write songs because I like singing and I like singing songs, and I just wanted something that was original so I could put it out into the world.
Meanwhile, students from interstate and overseas took part in an international student science conference. This year's theme, Humans' Impact on the Environment.
It's a week of science, culture and friendship. We've got 4 international schools visiting and 1 from the mainland.
And meeting new people around the world, making new friendships, and of course learn a lot about this crucial problem, which is the environmental change and the climate change.
Proving that school really is cool, even in the holidays. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
A Sidmouth couple who lost everything when their home was destroyed by a fire is receiving a much-needed boost from the local community. Flames ripped through the weatherboard home last Friday, quickly reducing it to rubble. The pair escaped thanks to the actions of a hero truck driver. A fundraising effort is now underway to help the couple recover. So far, nearly $2,000 has been raised on a GoFundMe page website.
Good evening, Launceston, Burnie and Wynyard with 17 the higher today. Those centres slightly above average, but most just below. Hobart 16 and Devonport 14. Smithton and Friendly Beaches 16 degrees. Ouse 15. Low Heads and Helens Grove, Strawn and Flinders Island 14. King Island a top of 13 today. Some low-level cloud over the west and south, but mostly sunny skies over the rest of the state. More cloud is sitting over the ocean south of the Bight, a cloud band just off the coast of Western Australia, with cloud containing thunderstorms along the New South Wales coast. The rest of the country fairly clear. Tomorrow a high pressure system moves over southern New South Wales. A cold front nicks the southern WA coast with troughs abounding over the mainland. The winds west to northwesterly, 10 to 20 knots mainly, reaching 25 knots over southern waters, swells to 3 metres. We have a frost warning for parts of the Midlands, East Coast and Derwent Valley districts. So temperatures dropping a bit overnight. Partly cloudy tomorrow for Hobart, 4 the overnight low, 18 the top, 15 for Adventure Bay. Tarraleah an early frost, -2 to a high of 14. 18 the high for Launceston, mostly sunny, 15 the top for Devonport and Bridport, 16 degrees. Burnie can expect a mostly sunny 16 tomorrow after a coolish start. 14 the high for Strawn, partly cloudy for Marrawar and 13. St Helens tomorrow 18 degrees, 17 for Swansea, mostly sunny 2 for Whitemark and 14. On Wednesday, fine and partly cloudy for most. Sunny conditions over the east. Another fine sunny day on Thursday, warming up to 26 in Hobart. And on Friday, mainly fine apart from showers over the west and south and maybe later over the northeast. Partly cloudy in Perth, sunny for Adelaide and Melbourne tomorrow. Fine and 21 for both Canberra and Sydney, but a shower or 2 forecast for Brisbane. And it's clear at the moment. Hobart currently 10 degrees, 11 right now in Launceston, and currently clear and 11 in Devonport. Mainly fine, partly cloudy conditions for the next 3 or 4 days, Joe, but a few showers back by Friday and Saturday.
All right, thank you very much for that, Murph. That's all from the team for now. We hope you have a lovely Monday evening. We'll see you a bit later with updates. Bye for now.